Hi there, this is Katherine Moller here for another installment of Tips and Tricks. And today I want to talk to you about which way your bow is going. A lot of times when I'm teaching new students, when I start getting picky about which way their bow is going, they think just that I'm being really picky, and why does it really matter anyway? So the thing about which way your bow is going is it actually affects how strong that note is. So a down bow is when you start closer to the frog, and you don't have to start right at the frog, but you pull the bow down, and then up bow is when you start closer to the tip, and you're pushing your bow up. And so the down bow is naturally stronger, because with your bow, this part, the part down close to the frog, is heavier than the tip, so we have the natural weight, and then we also have gravity working with us to make that stroke a little bit stronger. Now I can make an upstroke. I can make the two sound the same, but it's more work on my part to make that up bow sound strong. And as I've mentioned in many of these sessions before, it's all about doing as little work as possible. So if we can use those down bows, which are naturally stronger, to help us emphasize the music, why not do that? Why not use something that's happening anyway and use that to our advantage? I know when you're just starting out that it seems like yet another thing to think about, but the sooner you can start thinking about that, and the sooner you can get when you need to use a down bow and when you need to use an up bow, the sooner you can incorporate that into your playing, then the easier it will be later on. Eventually, once you've done this for long enough, you'll find that if you get going the wrong way, that it actually feels really strange. So when do you need to use a down bow? Well, generally, and this is like all rules, there are definitely exceptions, but generally when you start a piece, you're going to start on a down bow. So if I was playing, say, Jazzy Maggie, I would be playing a down bow on that first note. Now here is where the exception comes in. If I was playing a tune like The Burnt Potato or The Little Burnt Potato, I actually start with an up bow. Now how do I know when to start up and when to start down? Well, if you read sheet music, now this one actually has it written in. That little V tells me to go up. But the way that I would know, even if that V wasn't there, is that here, before this first line, this is a bar line, before this first bar line, there is only one note. So if this piece started there, and I have a full bar right at the beginning like that, I would start with a down bow. Because generally, you want the first note in every bar to work out to be a down bow. And that's because the down bow is stronger, and because this music is meant for dancing, we want the beginning of every bar of music to be on a down bow. Now where we have this one pickup note, that means automatically I know that I'm going to start with an up bow, because if I start with an up bow, that first note is going to be a down bow. If there were two notes here in this first bar instead of one, I would start with a down bow, because then I could play down, up, and then I'd be down for that first note of the first full bar. Now, if you don't read sheet music, how do you know when your bow should be going up or down? Well, it's got to do with when you tap your toe, because the places in music that you tap your toe are the strong beats in the music. So, like for example, that tune that I was playing, Jazzy Maggie, you would tap your toe right on that first note. Da 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 da. So every time that I'm tapping there, those are the spots you want your down bow. With the Little Burnt Potato, it's da 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 da. Right, that first note, da 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 da, is actually before that first tap. So there will be exceptions to this. There will be times that you're going to start a different way, but for the most part, that's how you will know whether you're going to start up or down. If you only have one note in that first bar, and when there's only one note like that, it's called a pickup note. You're going to start with an up bow. If you're starting right at the beginning of the first full bar of music, you're going to start with a down bow. Generally, The goal is to try to get that first note in every bar on a down bow. It's not always going to happen, and that's okay. But for the most part, that is our goal. Happy fiddling.